I think he said he can write 100 pages, but he summarized to one. Okay, so in short, he's my business partner, Mr. Jonas Ang, our presidential director. Let's welcome him.
Today I learned something. There's such thing as good crime. So the next time, if the police stop me, I say you cannot stop me because it's a good crime. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Yeah, I'm so glad. I was just saying, wow, really full house. Okay, very good. And I was just telling Janet also, I said we are calling this MIDI. Supposed to be mid-level, but then right now it's no longer MIDI anymore. Yeah, it's a mega MIDI. Yeah. Okay, so I think, there's a lot of things here, but what is more relevant is the fact that I've been with Lifewave since May 2022. Okay, and it has been now almost 2 years already. I must say, that this is a fantastic and amazing journey so far, and I look forward to even more exciting times because really the momentum is phenomenal. Yeah, even my little daughter will say one day, she happened to cross the road or something, and she said, "Look, Daddy, patch." Yeah. And then I was on a phone call with somebody, trying to advise that person, and all of a sudden she shouted, she's 7 years old, and she said, "Use Lifewave." So that came from my 7-year-old girl. Okay, so what I'm going to talk to you about is the product, okay? I'm going to share with you from a little different perspective, and then after that I'm going to invite a special guest here that I think all of you will be looking forward to hear from, to share more about the science behind the product. Okay, now are you all aware that there's actually 3 pillars of health? Okay, we all always think that just health is health, But okay, the first pillar of health, I'm sure will be very familiar with this one. Okay, is nutrition. Yeah, so we all talk about and we know the importance of having to eat well and all this, and of course we've also seen a lot of supplements in the market, right? Because it's all about nutrition. It's all about being able to supplement what our body requires. Now I heard this story, and this I think came from Dr. Roy. Yeah. And it was from a video. It was Jin Dong, our leader, in Malaysia, who actually asked Dr. Roy this question, or rather, Dr. Roy asked him this question. He said, "Hey, the waste that you find, like excretion or whatever it is in your sewage and all this." So Dr. Roy asked, he said, "Hey, do you know, in the sewage, the number one thing that they find, rubbish, the number one thing." So most of us would think, maybe it's like plastic bag and whatever it is. So Dr. Roy said, no, it's not plastic bag. Yeah, it's actually condoms. Yeah, which is besides the point. So he says, do you know what is the second thing that is found mostly? When the waste and all this is processed. Okay, he says the second waste that you find mostly in the sewage is supplement. Yeah. So very interestingly, so he's like, how come? So it means one thing, right? That a lot of the supplements that we assume that is helping our body may actually not be processed properly by the body. So it's being expelled from the body as waste. Okay? So imagine this, what we think, to be nutrition, we need the minerals, we need, the proteins and the vitamins, and we eat and eat and eat and all these kind of things, and yet, a lot of it is not being processed by the body. Okay, so and then when you talk about food, you say, we just need to eat healthy. But do you know that if we compare the soil, that food that let's say vegetables and all these are grown to 30, 40 years ago, actually the soil nutrients has depleted significantly. Yeah, over the last 20, 30 years. Okay, so the same amount of vegetable that you used to eat 20 years ago, and if you're eating that same vegetables now, same amount of vegetable, and you're still getting sick. So that's the reason why. Okay, it could be 30% less, 40% less nutrients. right? And we all know as well, when it comes to meat, most of the food out there, unfortunately, is already using what? Antibiotics, using all this kind of stuff. Okay, so when it comes to nutrition aspect, there's already an issue there. Then we say, yeah, okay, let's go to exercise. So, as long as we exercise, everything is fine. Yeah. Have you heard of people, who drop dead while exercising? All right. Okay, plenty. Unfortunately, I lost a few friends, and I got close relatives who lost a few friends. Also because of that, exercise and yes, they can get sick. There's one person who told me, he said, hey, it's impossible. I eat well, I exercise, I sleep well and all this. I don't smoke, but I kena lung cancer. Yeah? So, exercise, well, is good. So, okay, I'm not saying, that we don't need nutrition, that we don't need exercise. It is very important. But we need to ask ourselves the question also, so why are all these things happening? Yeah? So we have the two pillars here already. Nutrition, we know, that it is critical, but at the same time, is it enough? Exercise is critical, but is it enough? So is there a third pillar that we may not be addressing as much as we should? And I think it is, okay? And the third pillar is actually this, organ function. Now, so we talk about the waste, or rather the supplements that's found. What does this mean? This means, that our body somehow is not able to digest, right? So digestion, we talk a lot about ingestion, but we don't talk enough about digestion. You know the saying, I think you all know, you heard this before, you are what you eat. Got it? Alright, okay? I think the correct one is not what you are, you are what you eat, it is, you are what you digest. Make sense? Okay? Because you eat, but your body cannot digest, so how does the body absorb, how does the body get all the nutrients? Okay? So could that be contributing to the fact, that there's so much supplements found in the waste? Because the body is not able to digest, the body is not able to absorb, okay? And that's where we come in. By the way, shit is also important, excretion. Because if you cannot process the food, okay, and it doesn't come out, guess what happens? It becomes toxins in the body. Yeah, makes sense, right? And all these things can be attributed to one thing: degeneration as a culprit. Yeah, because of the pollution, because of the food we eat, because of the lifestyle, because of whether we like it or not. This thing, while is important, but it also does damage to us. Okay, so these are the things that contribute actually to the body degenerating, perhaps faster than we can expect. Okay, so right now we have a situation where we have so many things you got to exercise, you got chiropractor, you have the eating well programs, the what's that? Then you got yoga, you got acupuncture, you have of course the clinical aspect of it. What's that? And of course supplements, right? So we have all these things, and yet today we are seeing more diseases, right, than say 10 years ago. Okay, and all this, by the way, is backed up by facts because you can find this in Google. So what we feel is so important, and why you guys here are really benefiting from this, and I really thank the fact that you're taking the time out to be here, is we would like to say that we fill in this missing puzzle. Okay, and that is the technology that we have, right? Now, so let's talk a little bit about what we are, who we are. So for us, it's all about tapping into the body's natural energy and rebalancing the flow. It is all about getting the body to harmonize, to synchronize, itself so that it can function better in a natural way. So that is our technology, and that is our product. And there's no drugs, no chemicals, no stimulants. It is not addictive, and better still, it is non-transdermal, which means that absolutely nothing enters the body. Yeah? So, in other words, it is safe. Okay, so this is one thing which somebody asked me to say, hey, how come you got so much confidence to go out there to share? He said, because I have every confidence, since we have all the patents and the clinical papers, they were absolutely safe. The worst thing that can happen when you patch somebody is that nothing happens. So, is that bad? Okay? Alright, so now we use the word natural. So I just want to use this word, stress this word a little bit. So we are really absolutely natural. And how do we know that we're natural? It's because not only can humans, can people like you and I use this product, but guess what? We can also use this product on animals, this technology on animals. So we have a few, pet lovers, animal lovers, I think in this room and in my team, yeah? So we've got a lot of evidence to show and testimonials to actually show that, hey, guess what? Yeah, it actually works. Yeah, we've got some really incredible stories. Now, we're not making any kind of medical claims. I'm not saying, that we can treat, cure, yeah, but we have too many stories to tell, okay? And not only animals, how about this? You can even help plants, yeah? So again, we have a lot of stories where just by throwing, a patch in the soil or in the water, let's say, if it's hydroponics and all this, it can actually help, yeah? Okay, so the other part I want to mention is this, when we talk about natural, what else can be more natural than the fact that we use light? Okay, so that is the basis of our science, phototherapy, okay, using light to heal. So if you know about let's say a baby born in a hospital who has jaundice, they put the baby already under that light, right? Yeah, what do you call it? UV, right? UV light, yeah? And by putting the baby under the UV light, hey, guess what? Yeah, at least 99% of the time, I hear it can actually help the baby to heal from jaundice. And when at home, usually the doctor don't ask you to go and bring the baby back. They'll ask you to pinggang the baby, put under the sunlight, right? Okay, especially the morning sun, and it actually helps as well. Okay, so what is unique with our technology is the fact that we use something so natural, light that is so natural because it is a light that comes from our own body. Yeah, so it is scientifically proven that our body emits light. So we use this light, and what light can be better, frankly, than light coming from the body, to actually benefit the body with when it is reflected off our patches. Okay, now what are we trying to address as a problem here? The biggest problem why degeneration occurs is simply because of this. Okay. Our stem cells are dying with age. Yeah. So whether we like it or not, when we age, a lot of things die. Okay. Now, as to the details of the stem cells, later on, our special guest, will give you more information. Okay. But this is a key issue here, that our stem cells are actually dying more rapidly than our body can accommodate. Yeah. How rapidly? We are talking about, say, maybe 100%, 40%, 25%. We know when you're 60 years old, you probably have 5% or even less already. Okay, stem cells are so critical. Yeah, all your cells come from stem cells. So you only got 5% left. Wait, how like that? Right? Okay. So our solution our solution here, is really in X39. Okay, so this is a game changer, truly a game changer, and David Schmidt had already said that this X39 is his greatest achievement to date. Yeah. So X39, what is this X39? How does it work? Okay, so this is where we will hear this from Dr. Timothy Loh, okay, and he will talk about the science, and I'm going to invite Dr. Timothy Loh up front, but before he actually comes here, just a little bit about Dr. Timothy Loh.